I totally do not know how to use my camera or how to edit. I'm very technologically challenged, so bear with me if this stops again. Where was I? Oh, okay, so yeah, I wasn't into house music. I was into this industrial rock. That's what it was called at the time. So, and Reed would book these kind of bands in his studio, and I was working there, and I would do a lot of backup vocals for these bands, you know, and whenever needed vocals, I was like the token singer, and I learned a lot from these bands, a lot, and I definitely figured out my style. Anyway, I recorded a Sister Soleil record. It was 6 songs. It was an EP. The next thing you do is, you know, you have to press it so that people can listen to it. And I didn't have any money, you know, and I was talking to Pete again, and Pete was like, kind of joking around, and he said, you should put an ad in Crane's business circulation. It was this magazine for different businesses. I don't even know what it was for, actually. I just knew that people with money went there. And I think it was kind of kidding, but I did. And I put an ad in Crane's saying, you know, it's so ridiculously stupid. I can't believe people bought this. But it was, you know, young, talented artists on the verge of a major recording deal seeking investors. And I was shocked that I got so many responses. You know, there was like, you know, a handful of people that wanted to give me like $4,000 here, $5,000 there. I mean, that was a lot of money back then. It was like 1996. And so I had a friend, Chips Enough, and he was from this band called Enough's Enough. And they were this pretty successful rock band. And he told me, he introduced me to his lawyer, Jack, and Jack and I hit it off right away. I told him, you know, what was going on, and he didn't want me to take multiple investments from different people. It was too complicated, so he decided to be the sole investor in Sister Soleil. And I mean, again, this was the person that really believed in it and spent a lot of money and time. I was very lucky, you know. So we pressed it, and you know, we pressed it, and we made like 1,000 copies of it. The next thing I needed to do was to get a record label to listen to it. The last thing that I will say is that I took about 100 copies, and I stuffed them in with a cover letter into yellow padded envelopes, and I took a list of every record label in the country and some in the UK and stuff, and I hand wrote and postage, you know, and sent all these out, and mostly they got returned to me, or I never heard anything, with the words, no unsolicited material accepted. And I didn't know what that meant, you know. And again, Pete, what does that mean? And he's like, well, you record companies don't want to deal with artists directly. They want to deal with managers, and managers only want to work with artists that are already on a label. So it was kind of this catch-22 thing. And so I was thinking, like, how can I hustle? And I decided that, I mean, I would pretend to be a record label. I mean, how would anybody know? It's not like they had a book of legitimate record labels or anything anywhere, at least at that time. So Jack and I sat down with the dictionary and came up with this. He read catharsis, which was the emotional release in drama or art, process of freeing and eliminating repressed emotion. It was his idea, and I was like, that sounds good to me, that's about right, but I decided to spell it with a K instead of a C, which was my mother's first initial, and my father's first initial, like the last name of my father, so a little bit of superstition in there. So Jack and I came up with Catharsis Records, and I will tell you what happened next in my next vlog. Okay, till next time, chapter 2. I hope this was more interesting. Bye.